Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between, today in your hand you hold a comic book entitled Superfluous. It's a near mint edition, barring a large coffee stain on the cover, and it's dated August 51. You open the first page and begin to read. Midnight on the rooftops of Anytown, USA.
America, 1951, home to the greatest superheroes in the whole wide universe. And me. I'm Flaggy. Or at least I will be until I think of a better name. Former child sidekick to the Patriots and current 20-something superhero between jobs. But not for long. Why, just today I got a secret message from the mysterious Professor H. You probably can't read it because it's written in invisible ink, but it's there.
Who are you talking to? Huh. Not me then. I mean good. Because I don't want friends. Friends make you compromised, weak. They make you feel feelings. That gets awkward.
Oh, you must be Mercury! The dark, gritty, inner-city hero who works on noir-esque crimes. Boy, howdy, am I glad to meet you.
Do you always talk that way?
I sure as sugar do.
Figures. So, what brings you here in the dead of night, whilst the moonlight shimmering on the bloody pools of blood in the alleyways, and the crooks steal hard drugs from one another just to give their lives some kind of meaning, and each gunshot is punctuated by the scream. Thank you. By the scream of a kidnapped child. Anyway, Flaggy, isn't this all a little too dark, gritty, realistic for you?
Oh, I'm not involved in any of that scary stuff. I'm just here because I got a letter from, well, Professor H. I was narrating about it when you came in.
That's my esteemed super colleagues. I'm delighted to inform you that you have been selected to join my crack team of superheroes.
Hang on, how are you reading this? It's written in invisible ink.
I train myself. It's a simple trick, requiring no more than 2 hours of self-administered laser eye surgery.
Jeepers.
I really hate crime. Anyway, the note continues. Meet me at my secret lair, the penthouse apartment on the corner of Berman Street and the red light district. Use the skylight or buzz from the ground floor and ask for Professor H. Signed, Professor H. Huh.
What?
It's exactly the same as my letter, that's all. Oh, so this means...
We're teammates now!
All right. I was afraid of that. Will you get off this? All right, I guess if we're gonna be working together, I'm gonna have to trust you. For now. Damage. It's safe. You can come out.
Oh, is that Dr. Damage?
Yes, it is.
But he's the most powerful being in the universe. He could flatten mountains or unflatten valleys. He can do pretty much anything.
So, it's not his fault if he's a little shy. We're partners.
Oh, you mean you're...
Crime-fighting partners. God, why must everything in comics have a homoerotic subtext these days? We work together. He got an invitation too.
Oh, wow. With a firepower like this is some team Professor H has put together. Who do you think he might be?
I don't know for sure.
Well, I thought it might be.
But I've got my theories.
Okay.
Messy handwriting, invisible ink. This could well be the work of Professor Hasty, the world's fastest mad scientist.
Well, I thought it could be Professor Hypno, because this drool stain on my letter, that could be where he fell asleep on writing it.
Well, I thought it could be Professor Honeytrap. Another ruse to lure us into her sticky fingers again.
Actually, that's quite a good suggestion, Doctor. We can't rule out the possibility that this might be a trap. Well, we know there's only one thing we do with a trap.
Huh? What's that?
Spring it.
Oh, fellas, wait up!
What could possibly happen next? Find out on the following page. But first, try Army Surplus Lad. It's every house's lad of choice. Meanwhile, in the office of the Mad Professor.
What? Greetings, my friends. I am Professor Handy, your loyal friend, intellectual superior, and now, partner in the fight against crime.
Oh, Professor Handy, the German supervillain turned science hero. Right.
Nein, mein patriotic Freund, but you're making the same mistakes that the police are so often making. For I was never a villain. No. I have never used my inventions for anything except the good of my fellow women and men ever since I fled my middle. Have a seat, my friends. For the rest of our fantastic family is running unmightly. My backstory certainly passes the time.
The rest of our fantastic family?
Might not be quite so late as you think.
I was just sitting there. Why did you do that?
That's for me to know and you to gawk in amazement at.
Oh my gosh, it's Shade! The swashbuckling she's through the city slum!
Exactly. Anyway, it's good to see you again, Professor. How have you been?
Not bad, Shade, not bad. I was just about to start recounting my backstory.
In that case, don't let me interrupt.
There.
Not so fast.
Haven't even started yet.
Not you, Professor. Her.
Me?
Absolutely. If she's going to be a part of this team, you can count me out.
Why?
Because we used to be partners.
You mean you were...
Partners in the fight against crime. Always assume I mean partners in the fight against crime.
It's good to see you're as level-headed as always, Clarence.
Oh, and that is why I never tell my partners my real name anymore.
So it was just some silly disagreement over his silly name.
It's nothing like that. It's not a silly name.
It was just as trivial.
Trivial! Trivial! We were crime-fighting partners. We were an unstoppable force, a united front against a seedy underbelly of criminals. Till she crossed that thin black line.
Is suppose not the thin blue line?
Well, that refers to police and criminals. I was appropriating it for vigilantes and criminals. The vigilantes who don't wear blue.
Oh, just get on with the story, Clarence.
Yeah, what happened? Did Shade become a criminal?
Yes. My God!
I did not know this.
Come on, you're all overreacting.
Are we? Are we?
Yes.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. We can't bend the rules, Shade. For we are the strings of... we are the strings of order that dangle over the brink of chaos. And if we crisscross that moral boundary, we're all going to get really tangled up.
That is without a doubt the best metaphor I have ever heard.
Good or bad metaphors aside, I think everyone's taking this a bit too seriously.
How can we not take it super duper seriously, Shade Man? I mean, if we break the law, then who can the good citizens of Anytown believe in?
I really don't think you want to go down that route.
Mine, I have Flaggy is right. I mean, who will watch or police as police are watchers of others? It must be a catchy way of saying. I have it. Who will invigilate the vigilantes?
Yes, you're right.
Really?
I'm saying you're right. As costumed crime fighters, we absolutely have to uphold the spirit of the law. And I always have. Oh, yes. Mercury was telling the story. I think we should let him finish it. Well, go on, Clarence. Tell them about the crime I committed.
She double-parked her crime-fighting vehicle
Whilst?
in the middle of a drugs bust.
Thank you. Now, what do the rest of you have to say to that?
Welcome aboard! Do not be like that, my pretty detective. We must all work together if we are to save this city.
I think we should all stay. After all, nobody's perfect, and our hearts are in the right place.
Hello, Dr. Damage. I didn't see you there. Looking forward to working with you.
That is exactly the sentiments that is needed, my dear doctor. If everything is sorted, I will finally recount my backstory. When I first arrived in this country, I was overwhelmed. You people, with your loud, clear voices, even the deaf can hear, and your countrywide grade system so logical. Your people so efficient that they have the ability to talk and eat at the same time. Truly, I thought this was paradise. Then I was robbed several times on the same express train through New York. And as I watched the last astonishingly obese robber make off with my purse, I realized my true destiny. I was to become a superhero. And things have been going rather well, with the exception of one tiny problem. Allow me to give you examples. 3 months ago, I returned to a little old lady her purse, and she calls the police. 2 weeks ago, I stopped by bank robbery, and they arrest me along with civilians. Yesterday, I break a drug ring. And half an hour ago, I was cleared of being the kingpin. Clearly, I have an image. So I think, what is the best way to solve it? A superhero group.
Ah!
A team of do-gooders acting together are far more recognizable and rarely subjected to cavity searches. Oh, here she is, the Iron Maiden of our city, the salty seductress with super strength, gentleman, lady. I'm sure you have no need for me to tell you about
Titanium.
Yeah, of course, Titanium.
Oh, jumping jackrabbits, Miss T. No introduction needed. Boy, I never thought I'd get to see the day I'd be on a team with you.
Okay, and the heck you supposed to be?
I'm Flaggy,
The Patriot's creepy little kid?
sidekick, and I'm 23 years old now.
Yeah.
I must say it's an honor
It's,
to...
silhouette, right?
Actually, it's shade.
Oh, what? As in lampshade?
I'm sorry, I don't know what I've done to you, but
Man, you haven't done anything to me. I was just wondering, what you're doing.
excuse me.
Bring a knife to a gunfight.
If you really want to test your mettle against mine, by all means be my guest. I highly doubt you're as durable as your namesake.
Oh, what you gonna do, Zorro? Tickle me? Come on, I eat poses like you for breakfast. Let's get rid of it, shall we?
Scott!
Are you sure you haven't been having lead for breakfast because you seem a little slow on your feet, my dear?
Oh, this ain't over! You're that Psycho Mercury, right? Your last perp out of hospital yet?
Please. Hospitalizing a pimp is still better than beating one with an orphanage.
Hey, I shook most of those orphans out first, and you know it! That's the damage, right? Say you're the most powerful superhero in the world. Okay.
Anyway, I'm sure you're all wanting to know your first mission. I'm sure you all are aware of the Dastardly Professor Charm.
You mean the man who kidnapped the mayor by sweet-talking him into his car?
Jumping jelly beans!
You mean the so-called professor of love who managed to rob 3 banks by flirting with the tellers?
Golly gee!
You mean the Sultan of Swank who poisoned the city's water supply by cajoling members of the WI into making poison jam?
Holy macaroni!
You mean the charismatic criminal who's escaped jail 6 times by ravaging the wardens?
Stun my wickets!
So very so. I suggest that we go our separate ways and reconvene when we have good information on his whereabouts. So you must all go and use your brilliant American deductive brains.
Yeah, and what if our brilliant American deductive brains don't work? And we don't find it?
Then we can reconvene in a week and pool our resources.
What's so funny?
Oh, nothing. It's just that with me on the team, I don't think that's going to be necessary.
And what do you mean by that?
I mean that Professor Handy knew what she was doing when she hired the best detective in the business.
Yeah, if you don't say so yourself.
Oh, but I do. Frequently.
Especially when there's a press patch nearby.
Look, just because you enjoy being a half lunatic, half legend, doesn't mean I should stick to the shadows and miss out on sponsorship deals. I'm the face of 4 breakfast cereals in the tri-state area, don't you know? Anyway, are you really saying you can find Professor Charm first?
Is that a challenge?
Why not?
Yeah, a race is a good idea. A competition between the 2 best super suits. So speed and results and may even manage to ease the tension between all of you. Now go, my lieblings. Wait. I have not yet told you the name of our baggy battling band. For it took me many hours with an English dictionary, thank you, my minion, to think of just the right power. Now, I started with super, for we are superheroes, yeah. And then I chose the letter F, which stands for freedom, which the great country also stands for. And I fixed it to the end of super. And then I chose the letter L, for Elysium is my favorite of the active metals. F dancing across the fortress surface. Oh, it's such a purple flame. And then I chose the letter O, for what shape is more perfect than that of a circle. Then, after this random assortment of letters, I chose the tools which stand for peace, justice, and hot dog vendors. The moniker of my adopted country, US. Thank you. So, together, we are Superfluous!
Yeah, I'll be seeing you, Professor.
I thought it was other.
Excuse me, but doesn't that spell superfluous?
What? Mine, My God!
So, do you like matter? I do. What do you suppose would happen if the universe compressed itself into one singularity and disappeared? I once asked an Italian theoretical physicist, and he said, no matter.
My family's Italian.
Oh my God! I'm so sorry. I didn't mean. I'm not usually so racist. I'm normally never a racist. I'm never not a. Say, your eyes are amazing.
Oh.
No. I mean, they're really big. I've never seen someone with such huge eyes. Like, in a nice way, though. Like the eyes of a lovable cartoon dog. But sexy, yeah? Yeah. I can perceive all 6 different kinds of quark, and yours are really pretty. I guess I'll see you next week then.
What could possibly happen next? Find out on the following page. But first, try all new asbestos-flavored ice cream. Little Jimmy just can't get enough of that taste. Meanwhile, on the bustling streets of Anytown, USA.
Gee, can you believe it's been 2 days already since the formation of that new superhero team and its promise to defeat that scoundrel, Professor Charm?
Are you alright, citizen? Who are you talking to?
Oh, I'm just peachy. I just love standing here, reading my newspaper, out loud.
Okay. Anyway, Titanium. I just wanted to say, I thank you for coming out on patrol with me.
And no worries, you know, the way I see it, more time I spend on the streets, more chance I have to beat up crims, right?
Ow.
Say, man, are you Titanium?
Yeah, what do you think?
Oh boy, it's really you. I just wanted to say thank you. With you around, the city can rest easy.
Yeah, much obliged.
Oh boy, I can't believe I met Titanium.
Oh my god, that's Titanium, out here on patrol. You rock, Titanium!
Yeah, thanks.
Ooh, Titanium!
Wow, you sure seem to have a lot of fans.
Don't worry, I'm sure you got some too, just, you know, not any we've met at all.
Yeah.
It is such an honor to meet a real hero such as you. Such an honor. Hey, you're Flaggy, right?
That's my name, citizen.
Yeah. Why are you even in the superhero business now that Patriot's gone?
Excuse me?
Well, I mean, it was pretty pathetic, wasn't it, when he took on a sidekick all those years ago, but now that he's gone, I thought that you would just, you know, retire? I mean, let's face it, you're nothing in comparison to him, are you? He was a great American hero, and you're just some badly dressed freak.
I'm sorry. Just what the heck do you think you're doing?
Me? I'm not doing anything.
You got a problem with any of us heroes? Punk?
No, not at all, ma'am.
Because, you know, problem with one of us. It's a problem with me.
Got it.
Yes.
Good. I'm glad we cleared that up. Now beat it!
Thanks, Titanium. That was really stand up of you.
And to be honest, I just wanted to throw someone. But you shouldn't let that stuff get to you, you know?
I know, but it's so hard sometimes. Sometimes I just think I am, a fashionable loser.
Yeah, which fellas, that's definitely not true. Come on, when I started out, a lot of people said I was no good. They said I was just some girl in a shiny costume. But I got past that, and you can too.
Really, Titanium? I never knew that. What did you do?
It was simple, you know? I just remembered the name of anyone who ever cracked wise about me, right? And then I go to the gym and train real hard, picturing their faces in front of me. And then I go out on the streets, right? I track them down, and then I break them in half!
Okay. Maybe I was thinking we could not patrol together anymore, but do it like separately. We come more ground that way. Would be okay?
Yeah, whatever you want.
Oh, you poor thing. Good day, young costumed crusader, you. Oh, I say, what seems to be the matter?
Oh, it's nothing, citizen. I'm just a little dreary, because people don't seem to accept I'm not a little kid anymore.
How so?
Well, I got into the heroing business when I was just a kid, as a sidekick, but since then a lot's changed. My mentor died and I celebrated my 21st birthday. Not at the same time, of course. I'm really sorry if that sounded confusing.
Oh no, I followed. Please, I am listening. Do go on.
Thank you. Anyway, it's like this. I'm all ripped orange to go fight crime more than ever before. But no one really seems to care. To them, I am just I'm a stylish screw-up, aren't I?
Oh, I'm sure that's not true.
Really? Honest and true?
Oh, undoubtedly. I mean, look at you, hero. I'm sure no one's ever mistaken you for being fashionable.
Hey! You big meanie! I thought you were trying to be nice to me, but you were just bullying me like all the others. Well, that's it. Flaggy has had enough. You'll see when I'm the one to get to Professor Charm first.
Young man. You need to learn to watch your manners. You're not going to get anywhere acting like that. You want a word of advice? I think you need a charm offensive. Charm.
Oh my gosh, that was him! Stop, you slippery seducer! Seriously, wait on! Oh no. The others hear about this. I'm gonna be the laughing stock of the entire city.
What could possibly happen next? Find out on the following page. But first, I knew he was a commie because he didn't buy American. He bought pure Oklahoma lint. Meanwhile, back at the office of the Mad Professor.
Jeez, can you believe it's been 3 days already since the formation?
How did you infiltrate the base?
Boy, not again.
What do you know? Get out! Okay, so, any luck?
Nothing. Not since the incident. I haven't had a single lead.
Dr. Damage, how about you? Dr. Damage,
She looked me in the eye when she insulted me yesterday.
this is pathetic. There's a criminal on the loose, and my reputation as the greatest detective in the world on the line. And all you can do is sit there and moon over Titanium.
Hey, don't be mean. It's not as if we had any leads to follow up on anyway.
Yeah, well, maybe we would have found some. if you didn't spend all your hours daydreaming over your psychotic wannabe girlfriend.
How can you say that about her? She's lovely.
She's deranged is what she is. She's a bad influence on you, and I don't want you hanging around with her.
You can't tell me what to do. I am an adult. I can make my own decisions.
Oh yeah, like let's experiment with antimatter. How did that work out for you? So far, Shade's bad luck is the only thing keeping us from being as publicly humiliated as Flaggy.
Hey!
So,
That does it, Mercury. I've had enough. I hate you.
Damage.
Now I am going home to transmute all your swing records
No.
into trashy slap bass.
Damage, wait!
Let him go, Merc. Let him go. That's what the Patriot always used to do with me when I was acting up.
Wait, what? You had a rebellious phase?
Oh, yeah. Back in the day, I used to get real mad. Then I'd run out and threaten to smash up his collection of eagle figurines. But then I'd run into a nugget or two on my way home and I'd time myself out before I could do anything real dumb. He'll be back. Granted, I was a 14-year-old sidekick and he's a 30-year-old theoretical physicist, but the principle's basically the same.
I guess you're right.
So, you like swing music?
What? Who told you?
Dr. Damage yelled it on his way out.
Right, yeah. Well, so what if I do? I still beat criminals to a bloody pulp with my bare hands. It doesn't make me any less terrified.
I never said it did. It's just, well, I like swing music too.
Oh. That's interesting. I mean, I can't believe Dr. Damage, though. Yelling about things like my love of beat poetry and swing music. Those are my deepest, darkest secrets.
You never said nothing about beat poetry.
Damn! I mean, what are you talking about? I like violent crime fighting against criminals and nothing else.
Okay, it's okay to have a hobby. You know, that's what the Patriot always used to tell me. Gotta have a hobby, he said. Keeps the crazy away. That'll work.
Well, what's your hobby, then?
I like acrobatics and calisthenics.
What? Oh.
You gotta keep in shape for all the heroing you gotta do.
Isn't that just sort of preparation for heroing? I mean, what do you actually do in your spare time?
Oh. Well, I guess if you put it like that, I don't really have a hobby. I do like swing music, though.
Beat poetry?
It's okay, I guess.
I'm sorry, Mercury. I'm sorry I took off like that. It's okay. Your records are fine. Got distracted by a couple of muggings. Never made it home.
Whew, that's quite all right, damn it. No need to worry. Look, why don't we call it a day? I don't think we're going to get much further with today. If we call it a day now and we go grab a bite to eat, how does that sound?
Sounds good to me.
It sounds like a good plan.
Okay, great. Today I let Flaggy in on my deepest, darkest secrets, but he did not shy away. Is it possible that I have misjudged him, or is he merely stringing me along towards an inevitable betrayal? Only time will tell. Also, I think Dr. Damage may have some impulse control problems with regards to his feelings for titanium. He could jeopardize the entire mission. And even in this apparent mid-case lull, I must remain vigilant, trying to do my duty, protect the city I love, and beat Shade at her own game.
Hey, Merc, quit monologuing. Dr. Damage has materialized a genuine Italian pizzeria.
I guess I'll have to continue this later. Mercury out. Note to self. Get real dictaphone.
What could possibly happen next? Find out on the following page. But first, by the Remington M870, the official pump-action shotgun of the US Boy Scouts. Also available in pink. Meanwhile, on the bus note, as a mad professor roams the streets at night.
4 days into our manhunt, and nothing except one potential sighting of Dastardly Professor Charm. Perhaps I would have been better off just using my own gadget and going on my own way instead of listening to this whole media circus.
Hold it right there, you female scientist with a funny accent. Place your hands where I can see them. Wait, Aren't you that supervillain turned superhero out to catch Professor Charm?
I mean, your officer detects me.
Cool. You got any leads?
Yeah, I'm working on some right now, actually.
Oh, okay then. Sorry to have kept you, ma'am. Have a good night.
Actually, it's Professor, not He is gone. Perhaps I was mistaken earlier. Hopefully I will have a little more luck in the library tomorrow. Oh, I do so love the night buses. Such a convenient way to get home after work in the lab. Oh, or maybe I will even have time to do the crosswords. Oh.
Quite the varieties you've got there.
Oh yeah, I save up the Sunday pages especially for the weekday puzzles. So just no challenge with a brain like mine.
Is that so?
Oh yeah, naturally. I am after all something of a genius.
Really?
Oh, I have 3 professorships, 2 PhDs, 4 master's degrees, 6 degrees I did in humanities just for fun. 14 patents with 2 pending.
You're quite the sharp cookie then.
You have to get up pretty early to catch this particular bird.
Except
Except I'm stuck on the last one in the crossword.
perhaps I could be of assistance.
Hardly. I mean, you could try, but it is something of the rebel. Like, large criminal, vile puns. Preferences. I
Supervillain. Oh, the answer. Supervillain.
Oh, yeah, so it is! Thank you. Oh, and here's my boss.
Not at all. Professor
Handy.
Handy, of course. Charmed, I'm sure.
My God!
What could possibly happen next? Find out on the following page. But first, kids, no, is your sister tired of playing nurse with her dollies? Then tell her to coupon clip her way to owning a real surgical nerve. 6 coupons needed, 2 per issue. Meanwhile, days pass, and no sign of the mysterious Professor Charm, much to the annoyance of a certain super sleuth.
Five days into this superpowered manhunt, and so far the only thing this superheroing team has discovered is its own incompetence. But never fear, Anytown, because your savior is woo! Here. Can't be so direct. That's exactly where the others slipped up. Slow and stealthy wins the race, so to speak. Aha! Easy. Easy. What is... Ah! Ah! Very funny. Titanium, now you've blown my cover.
I'm sorry, but your face was totally worth it.
I was trying to catch Professor Charm.
Oh, really? And how exactly were you gonna do that? Sneak him to death?
I've been keeping tabs on a series of low-level criminal activities, which I thought might be his compulsive between-the-job rates. And their epicenter is right here.
You mean this incongruously abandoned factory right in the center of town?
Of course. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's move! A fire exit door with a 3-combination lock.
Well, that's subtle.
Exactly. There's sure to be a series of dastardly traps on the other side designed to capture or incapacitate any hero who tries to enter, but don't worry. My skeleton keys and lockpicks will soon see to that.
Screw it.
Oh, titanium! Wait! What?
Sprung him. Jeez, looks like you were right. This really is a villain's hideout.
Whilst I appreciate the compliment, could you try not to sound so surprised at my abilities next time?
And make no promises.
Would you look at this place? Supercomputers, radios tuned to the police band. The same bin as the street outside.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't draw attention to that.
And pictures of us. And the routes we patrol.
Hang on a sec. It looks like someone's planning some kind of big score on us.
It's a good thing we got here while the place was unoccupied. Now all we have to do is photograph the evidence, wait till Professor Charm gets back, defeat him, and then really rub Mercury's face in it. I mean, save the city.
Yeah, sure you do.
Not so fast!
He's here.
Now, Professor Charm, your hiding is only delaying your inevitable defeat.
What? No! I'm not Professor Charm. How dare you?
What?
Recognize me now?
No, really not.
Is that Skate? Well, of course it's me. Who the hell else is it gonna be?
Okay, I'm sorry, but who or what is Skate?
This takes me back. Do you remember that roller skating fad which swept Anytown a few years back?
Hey, that was not a fad. Roller skating is here to stay.
Oh yeah? Then, why aren't you wearing yours now?
Don't be stupid. This building has stairs, you know.
Anyway, this roller skating company wanted to drum up some publicity, so they hired a stunt woman to become a minor roller skating themed superhero.
Hey, I was not minor. I was major league. A high-hitting inspiration to
Oh,
thousands.
don't gild the lily, dear. You were a corporate tool and little else. Anyway, she patrolled the streets for a couple of years and gained a little renown until the roller skating fad faded into the roller blading fad, and then the company dropped her and she just disappeared.
That is not true. I've been freelance ever since Skateaway dropped me. I've had plenty of gigs. Catching muggers, pickpockets, slow-moving traffic code violators, rescuing cats from trees.
Okay, I'm sorry, but how the heck did you do that?
Oh, they jump down real fast if you hurl a skate at them. My point is, I was the big time.
Yes, you were clearly the first one anyone called when they wanted petty thieves caught.
Less of your lip, Shade. You're both skating really close to the edge as it is.
Oh, bravo! You got to use a little pun. Tell me, are there any other skating-based puns, or is that the only one?
Shut up! Just because I was busy, working for the little guy while you guys were all off catching supervillains and busting drug rings and whatever, you think you're better than me?
I'm sorry, but weren't you busy doing all those, petty thefts and vandalisms?
Well, yes, but you made me do it.
What?
How? You don't know what it's been like, working your butt off for a city that doesn't even know you exist anymore. I was desperate and at my wit's end. There's only so much you can charge for rescuing a cat, you know, and it was getting harder and harder to take kids' pocket money as payment for getting it back from bullies. But then, word gets out that a new superhero team's being formed. Now, and I start thinking it's my lucky day. And I can't wait to knuckle down and do my bit for the good guys, you know? But then, I read in the paper that the superhero team had already been formed. And I wasn't invited. And that's the kind of thing that makes a girl mad. So I thought, I'll get myself on that team, no matter what it takes. My first tactic,
psychological warfare against the weakest team member. Didn't work.
Hang on a sec. You were that citizen, the one who was running into Flaggy the other day.
Yes, I was. And I'd do it again. What right does the Patriots' former protege have to be on the team that I don't?
Genuine skill?
Oh, so I'm unskilled, am I? I'd like to see you try and fight crime on roller skates because it is way harder than it looks. If there is just one flight of stairs between you and the bad guy, then that's it, they're gone. Also, like, worse criminals that way. Anyway, as I was saying, that day, Flaggy's humiliation was great. But it only steeled him into wanting to be an even better superhero, so any chances I had of knocking him off the team and taking his place were looking pretty slim. So I came up with a new way to get your attention. A dastardly crime spree. Okay, I wouldn't exactly call a few instances of high-speed graffiti, 2 petty thefts and an assault a dastardly crime spree. But you're right, we're here now. Now, what do you want? I want you to tell Professor Handy to put me on the team. Oh, absolutely. No.
Yeah, no way.
What? Why?
Because you're not a hero anymore, Skate. You're a villain.
She's right. What? What? Well, that's rich. Shade and titanium telling me that I'm a villain. When one of them's a violent psychopath and the other's broken the law herself.
Well, oh, come on. People I beat up with criminals so I stay out of jail. You gotta be smart about it.
And look, double parking isn't that big of a deal. Why do people keep acting like it is? Because it makes you a lawbreaker and a hypocrite. And someone who has no right to tell me whether I'm a superhero or a supervillain. Aren't we missing the larger hypocrisy of superheroes here? Which is that we take the law into our own hands in order to uphold it. I mean, what kind of sense does that make?
Can we fight now?
Yes. If you want to stand up first, I mean, fine. If you guys aren't gonna let me on the team, then I'm just gonna have to make room for myself. So one of you is gonna have to go bye-bye. Ha! Rise up to my best move. So, this is how it ends, is it? A small-time hero just trying to do some good in the world, taken out by the big-time crazies. I was going to ask the police to just give her some community service, but now I think she needs help from the county asylum. You're deluded, Skate. Am I, though? Am I? In a world where superheroes constantly transgress moral boundaries, do I really stand out as a villain? Shouldn't many small sacrifices be made to preserve the greater good of citywide peace? And at the end of the day, is there really that much difference between double parking and, say, punching a nun? Yes! Oh!
What could possibly happen next? Find out on the following page. But first, kids, are you tired of mommy and daddy always telling you that you can't have a copy because it's too expensive? Then learn how to keep your pet for cheap by How to Train a Sewer Rat for only 36 cents. What am I doing with my life? And now, the group are reunited once more in the office of the Mad Professor.
Well, I think it's come and gone with nothing except two utterly humiliating nemesis, Mr. Dastardly Professor Charm.
And the successful apprehension of another supervillain right at the beginning of her career, but fine, ignore that, whatever. Gee, can you believe it's been a week already since the formation of that new
Get out! We already did that part! Did anyone find out anything worthy of note?
Nope.
No.
Negative.
Sadly not.
No, how about you?
then.
Agreed!
I say, I hope you don't mind my dropping in. That's right, it's me, Professor Charm. Thank you, sound guy. Dr. Christopher Hart. I mean, what's the use in splitting hairs at this point, eh? Rather, I have something of a pressing matter to raise with all you chaps and ladies. See, ever since I had the good fortune to stumble upon my mind manipulation formula, I've become rather accustomed to living the high life.
Oh!
A few moments alone with me. I don't think so, dear. And any sad, rich, lonely oh dear just has to leave me a fortune. But alas, nothing can stay perfect forever. After a few thoroughly boring conversations about the dull old dear's cats, I found I simply couldn't take it anymore. So that's when I decided to aim a little higher. Oh yes! Oh, the mayor's kidnapping was a frightful ruse, and the bank robbery was simply ripping. Oh, I've been having a riot, wreaking havoc across the city. But then you do-gooders just had to go and poke your noses in. I tried to get chases off you several times, of course, but it just didn't work. That's why I'm here today, I'm afraid. See, I can't have you actually becoming competent enough as a team to stop me. So I'm here to, nip it in the bud, as it were.
Enough monologuing, all right? You're not gonna have time to nip anything in the bud before I break your face.
Oh, I don't think so, dear.
Oh yeah? Prepare to meet your new best friend, you handsome W.
Yikes!
He took out the strongest member of our team and barely lifted a finger.
Unglaublich. Truly, he is irresistible. But not for long. Make my anti-attraction formula.
Oh! Don't talk to the professor that way!
I think not, dear. She may be more used to me alive.
Truly, you are irresistible.
Okay, that is enough. This guy's powers are making me really uncomfortable.
I don't think you really want to do that, Damage.
No, I don't think I do, Master.
That's better. Now, how about a back rub? So, that just leaves the multicolored swap shop, the amateur detective, and the wannabe Zorro. I think I'm going to go to fashion disaster first. After all, he's nothing without his mentor to protect him.
Shut up! Just shut up! I'm not a little kid anymore! I don't need anyone's protection and I don't need anyone's help to be a real hero! I can... Oh, frog lumps.
Wow,
Shade, it looks like we're about to be defeated.
I know.
Possibly killed.
Smashing.
Do you remember what we used to do at times like this?
Of course. Do you know, Mercury, it's a shame we're probably about to die, as I've just realised working with you again's not such a bore.
Likewise. And Shade,
Yes?
take out his hands.
Tally ho!
Ugh.
Finish her.
Oh,
Told her.
Gotcha.
Shoot them! Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh. Gotcha.
Oh,
whoops.
Now, that's quite enough from you, my dear.
Nice try. But I think you'll find I made of sterner stuff than... Oh dear. Oh, 5 more minutes.
Give it up, detective. It's over. I've infiltrated your base, incapacitated your teammates, and left you helpless. Just submit to me.
Never. I will not give up. I don't have friends. I don't let myself feel feelings. And I will never let myself get uncomfortably close to a villain.
Well, I'm afraid you're wrong there. That's exactly what feeds into my power.
What?
But stay down there. All the people I've ever manipulated were loveless fools.
That's impossible. That can't be true.
Oh, it's perfectly possible. It's just some sort of sad statistic about the times we live in, I'm afraid. You see, consider the banks I robbed, yes? Well, I base those on the number of personal ads placed by the tellers. The Women's Institute members that helped me poison the water supply. They're the ones that complain about their dear old husbands the most. And between detectives, it takes barely any detective work at all to discover the trail of scandal and affair that leads to the mayor's broken marriage. So, that brings us back to you. Dreary, dark detective, Mercury. Sad, lonely, social, outcast, angry, reject, powerless.
That's why you're wrong.
You hate everything!
Not quite. There are some things I do love, like the sound of fists pounding justice into the face of an unsuspecting criminal.
I got that.
And the delicate snap of an arsonist's wrist as I confiscate their lighter. And the rhythm of a soulful beat poem. And the blare of the trumpets of a swing band. And friendship. Kittens. The point is that there are some things, and some people, and especially one person, that I do love very much, even if it's pretty clear they don't feel the same way about me. So I'm going to make this very straightforward for you. Let my friends go, or I'll cut you.
Come on. Like, really, does it really come down to this? You know, hero versus villain, mano a mano in an emotionally charged climax. No, I'm not going to have it. I'm sick of this. It's dull, it's formulaic, it's repetitive, it's unsatisfying. It fails to take into account that a man skilled and evil enough to rob a bank, kidnap a public official, and, oh yeah, poison an entire city's water supply is probably also evil enough to pack heat.
What? Why didn't you use that in the flippin' sword fight earlier?
Bad guy overconfidence? Not that it matters to you now, anyway. Your time's up, detective.
Not so fast, criminal scum!
But how?
Well, you know, I was just pretending to be unconscious in case I needed to get the jump on anyone.
I think he meant how come you're immune to his charisma rays.
Yeah. Oh.
Cereal to recover from this one.
Oh my god, my head! Oh, what happened?
Oh God, it feels like I just bench pressed 1,000 freight trains without a proper warm up. Oh.
Did you get Professor Charm, my good chair? I mean, huzzah! The day has been saved! And all thanks to you two from the power of love.
I guess so. But, Murph, wait a minute. I thought you said you hated the homoerotic subtext in comic books.
I do. There was so much subtext, but how many of those heroes ever actually came out? And even if they did, it was only of an alternate universe, or one writer's interpretation of the character, or a big deal in some cack-handed issues comic from the Silver Age. No, to me, subtext have become as hackneyed as those pow sound bubbles I see forming around my fist when I punch a villain.
You've seen those too?
Oh yeah.
No, wait a minute. I wasn't immune to the charisma rays, and neither was Titanium here, but how? I thought I was in love.
I was never in love with you. I thought you were late. Still do.
Oh, great Scott.
I think I can help you with this one, dear Doctor. Do you understand the difference between love and lust?
Kinda.
Can you tell the difference between them?
I guess not.
Savage has it. Another mystery solved by Team Superfluous!
Yeah, does that actually count? Because I'm fairly sure I could have told him that.
Oh, well, I guess that wraps that up. I'm sorry I was such a jerk to you, Mercury. I let my feelings get in the way of our friendship. Are we still partners in crime fighting?
Don't mention it, Damage. Of course we are. Look, I could never stay mad at the person who keeps me in weaponry.
Actually, I've got some questions. Why did the charisma raise only knock me out? Why didn't I become a mind slave like everyone else? Secondly, I resent the implication that I'm not in love.
I could field those questions.
Oh.
Okay. So there's a certain type of love that the charisma rays don't work on. Self-love.
Oh.
You see, people who are completely and utterly in love with themselves, they're quite difficult to control. So that's why I had to develop a backup neurotoxin for people like you.
Phew. For a minute there, I was worried I didn't love myself enough.
God forbid.
Very good, Froshed. Now, do you have any more questions for the professor?
No, not really.
Very good, very excellent.
Oh.
Nobody patronizes me over a CrossFit! Nobody. The day has been saved, all thanks to the powers of love and teamwork. A successful debut issue if ever I saw one.
I'll say, it's given me a few ideas as well. Well, when I'm not with the team, I don't want to be a solo hero anymore. I want to do my heroing with Dr. Damage and my partner, Mercury.
Well, that sounds good.
Also, I've thought of a new name. I don't want to live in the Patriot's shadow anymore. So from now on, I shall no longer be called Flaggy, but shall take on the name of the costume crime fighter, Venus.
How about Mars?
I'd better go with that. Mars!
I'm so glad my little social experiment worked out so well. Now all we need to do is take Professor Charm here off to the police station. Hello. May I...